G'day everybody, it is Matt here, and today we're going to talk about how to make Australian dollar fiat deposits into the Crypto.com app using the new payments platform, or NPP for short. Now, I've had a lot of people asking about this, so hopefully it'll help you out. I can't give you instructions for every bank because I don't use every bank in Australia. And I can't really help you with any overseas banks because I'm in Australia and I don't have any overseas banks. So yeah, there's that. But it should be a similar process for you anyway, regardless of where you're located. So hopefully this helps. If not, let me know down in the comments and we'll see what we can do to clear it up for you in a future video. Before we jump into it, I just need to say this is definitely not financial advice. This is purely for your entertainment and hopefully you find it helpful in some capacity, but you should definitely do all of your own research before making any investments or any financial decisions. If you're not already using the crypto app, I would suggest checking out my referral links down in the description. You can get a $25 US bonus paid in CRO into your Crypto.com account when you sign up for the app using that referral code. And if you sign up for the exchange, you can get a $50 USD bonus paid in CRO into your exchange account as well. Both of those when you meet the staking requirements. And now let's jump into it. So pull up your phone and open the Crypto.com app with me. It'll look something like this probably. So from this screen, the quickest option to deposit Australian dollars into your Crypto.com account is to go to that transfer button up the top there. Click on that. That'll bring up the option to deposit or withdraw. So click deposit. And then from the two options here, crypto or fiat, select fiat. Because my account is set up with Australian dollars as default, that is the option I've got here. If you don't have it, click set up new currency and then choose the currency from the options available. It'll only give you options that are actually available based on your address verification. So interestingly, euros are actually available for me. I'm not sure why, but they are. So when you've done your address verification, you should have Australian dollars here as your default. If it isn't and you can't find it in this list, then you'll probably want to get in touch with support because something odd might be going on your account. If you have not done address verification yet, I would suggest doing that. It makes a lot of stuff a lot easier in the app. So just coming back to this screen, select Australian dollar. It'll now pop up with all the information about how you can make a payment. So we have the option just up here to choose between the new payments platform or BPay, and switching between that will tell you the differences. The new payments platform is faster. It's almost always within a few seconds. BPay takes a few days, and you need to deposit using the new payments platform if you want to withdraw any Australian dollars in the future. So it uses the account that you deposit from in order to withdraw to in the future. Okay, so if you want to withdraw any Australian dollars in the future from the Crypto.com app, make sure you make a deposit using the new payments platform. And if you need any help with actually doing the withdrawal, I have a separate video which you can find by following the link that's up here somewhere to actually do that withdrawal. So that'll help you there. In the meantime, from this screen, go through these requirements and make sure you meet them. The key thing here is that the account name that you're depositing from must match the legal name associated with your Crypto.com account. Really important. You also want to make sure you stay within the transfer limits of between 50 Australian dollars minimum and maximum of 100,000 Australian dollars in a single transfer. I have accidentally transferred $15 once instead of 50 and it still went through fine, but I assume that minimum is there for a reason, so I would stick to it just in case. If you scroll down, and I think this is what might catch a lot of people out, you can actually scroll here. So if you scroll down, it will give you all of your payment details. So up the top is the PayID of who you're paying to. And then below that is the reference number. So this is going to go in your transfer description, okay? Really, really important to put that reference number in so that it knows who you are. So PayID on its own will not get the funds into your account. You need the PayID and the customer reference number together. If you need these on your computer or somewhere else, or you just want to reference them later, click that send all account info to my email button. It'll then send these details to your email so you can copy them out on the computer into your banking or what have you. So we've got our PayID details. Now what about actually making the transfer? I'll go through a couple of banks now so you can see. I'll just throw them up as screenshots on here so you can see how it's filled in. Again, make sure you check this with your actual bank and the PayID payments process with them. It does vary a little bit between banks, but generally same fields are required. When you are creating a PayID payment, a lot of banks do require you to create the payee first. Typically they'll ask you for the email address, phone number, or what kind of PayID it is. A lot of them will default to phone number and may give you the option for other PayID. If so, choose that, select the email option, email PayID, and then put in the deposit@crypto.com address that you got from the app. Then give it a nickname if you want. I just leave it as crypto.com. I know who it is. And once you've created that payee, you can then create a payment to them. So when you're actually creating this payment, you want to make sure you put that customer reference number in the description for the payment. Now some banks will give you two fields, both a description field and a reference field, the reference field being the old type of reference field from older payments. As long as you put it in the description field, you should be fine. If your bank has both, it doesn't hurt to put the customer reference number in both the description and the reference field. I normally send from a bank that only has the one description field, but when I do send from one of my other bank accounts that has both, I do put the customer reference number in both, just to be on the safe side. I don't want my money getting lost. And then you can go ahead and proceed. Always, 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 always double check the details are correct before you process the payment. Always do this. The one time you don't will probably be the time that something is wrong and it won't work. So always, always, always double check those payment details, okay? Double check it. Once you've actually processed the payment, it'll appear in your crypto.com account quite quickly. Like I said at the start, it's usually within a few seconds, but if it doesn't appear immediately, don't panic. I have noticed sometimes it can take up to a couple of minutes, but usually it's much faster than that. Now I just wanted to add that when you do make a payment in Australian dollars to the crypto.com app using the NPP payment method, generally it is very quick within the limits provided by your bank and sometimes also specifically by your account. So for example, ING has a $1,000 a day limit. Anything above the limits will still go through, but it will take longer. ING normally processes within a few seconds into the crypto.com app if you're within that limit. If you go over that limit, it'll take a day or two to go into the crypto.com app. So I just wanted to make that clear because chances are someone watching this will put through a larger transaction that goes over their account limits and it will take longer and they'll freak out. So don't freak out. Now, again, really, really important to make a deposit with the new payments platform if you want to withdraw. So definitely run through this process. Also, if you are not yet using the app or the exchange, don't forget those referral links down in the description where you can earn free CRO when you meet the staking requirements on both the app and the exchange. That's it for me for now. Have an awesome day and I will catch you next time. Bye.